com, place to be right here. I'm with my host, Evangelist Show, Yvette.
We in the house
That's
together.
my partner in crime.
Hey,
She's a very exciting lady.
I'm
always,
excited,
always
yes.
on and popping. You know your son is kind of taking after you.
Man, I know, right?
Yeah.
It's amazing because you just never know. He's the youngest.
He knows how to work the crowd.
He knows how to work the crowd. And listen, I was over there today. We were having a youth program, Sherell, and my son, who is 11 years old now, and he's just a little thing, He was asked to be the MC. He actually did it. He was MCing a couple weeks back for Youth First Friday. And when he got asked to MC today, as a mom, I'm all over in the corner trying to coach him along. But say this, King, and say that. And he like, I got this, Mom. I got this.
Oh, wow.
I said, okay, well, you have it then. So, Sherell. Oh, my God. Sherell, it is so glad to have you on the line with us. And you know what? I'm going to actually just kind of jump in the water with you here. Let's just get this thing started. Tell us, who are you?
Sherell Rosegreen.
Well, first of all, my name is Sherell Rosegreen. I'm originally from Jamaica. Been in the state about 28 years. While I was singing in Jamaica, I played the guitar also. There's a bishop in New Jersey that was intrigued by my talent, and then he invited me to play for his church in the U.S. And that's how I came here.
Oh, wow. And you were quite young, right?
Yes. I was very young. Very young.
Oh, wow. So you've been talented since the womb.
Pardon me?
You've been talented since the womb.
Oh, yes. Since I was, I remember singing from I was 5 years old, going to different churches and singing to my mom. My father's a bishop.
Okay.
I grew up in a Christian home.
Okay.
When I came to the U.S., I did my first album. No, my first single.
Okay.
And that was, I redo the Shirley Caesar No Charge, and I put it in my words for my mom who passed away. And that song was voted best-selling single in the Caribbean and most requested song on reggae radio.
Well, congratulations to you. Now, what other talents and gifts have the Lord placed upon you?
Well, I write, and also singing is my passion, and I think that's what God called me to do. I try to do other things, other singing, like maybe the word. I sing for the whirling. We call it whirling in Jamaica. It wasn't gospel, but when I was out there, people always said to me, "You're not cut up for this. You need to go in the church." So no matter where you go, you can see people can see it on you that this is the gospel is where you should be, because they say I sing with so much passion. So.
Well, so Sherell, so you're saying you started out singing like worldly songs or secular songs, and then people kind of push you to do what you're supposed to be doing, gospel?
Exactly.
And you know what? I have to say that I find that to be most intriguing, because usually you hear stories about people who start in the church and they end up floating out of the church and becoming a secular or secularized artist, and then they end up going back to their real roots, and then they end up flip-flopping. So I am so grateful to even hear such a testimony where you were just trying to make music and enjoying the talent that you had, but come to find out it wasn't really a talent, it was a gift from God. Now I also understand that God has also blessed you with some other talents. You said writing. Do you also dance?
Yes, I write. Actually, I wrote a book about my experience with domestic violence. And the name of the book is Abused Under His Charm. And a lot of people ask me how I come up with that title, because I'm the only one that has a title in the whole world. And I'm like, I don't know. That's God gave me that title, because this guy, it says it all. Abused under his charm. I met him. He was charming, nice, and everything. And then he abused me in the most dramatic way. I was 7 months pregnant.
Ooh.
Was it with his child, right?
Body slammed me. He body slammed me in a brick wall.
Ooh.
And my placenta ripped.
Oh, my God.
And the doctor told my mother that I would not make it at all. I remember laying in that bed, in the hospital bed, and I saw me in that coffin. Because I told my mother, I said, this is it. I'm not going to make it. I bled for like 2 months straight with my placenta coming out of me. And it was terrible, with excruciating pain. I remember coming from the hospital, and my then boyfriend, my child's father at the time, I was crying, and he said to me, "Stop crying. Nothing is wrong with you." And he put me out of the car, and I had to walk miles and miles home with my placenta coming out of me, bleeding. You know? So that's why I'm so passionate about domestic violence, because I know there's somebody out there that's hurting. They're in the churches, it's in the schools, and they don't want to come forward.
Yeah, and a lot of times women, you're right, women don't usually want to discuss that type of issue. It's like we want to be so strong in the forefront that we got everything and we're holding down everything, that when an issue does come to us, such as domestic violence, we generally not so much try to sweep it under the rug, but we try to deal with it, and then it ends up getting out of control. So was the abuse only physical? Was it verbal? Tell me a little bit more about the different types of abuse. Emotional?
It was physical. It was all of the above. It was all the abuse you could think of. Emotional, mental, physical. It was everything. I mean, everything. But more so physical. He was so verbally, he was so physical abusive. If I'm driving on the street, if I'm driving in the car, and I look to the right and it's a guy driving there, I get one punch in my mouth, because I shouldn't be looking at the guy. I should hold my head straight.
And you could have been just trying to get over to the left or to the right. Now, when you first met this gentleman, tell us a little bit about how the relationship started and then how it progressed to this level of abuse.
Well, I met him at, it was a house party. He was my first, because I was always in the church. So I said to myself, I don't want nobody else to know about me. I want this guy to be my guy. I want to marry him. So I was trying to fix it, Right. But he appears to be that good guy. He was so, he was so, when you look at him, you would never know he was abusive. He was so calm and such a gentleman in crowds. Everybody was loving him, Right. But then it started to get verbal. He didn't want me to go no place. Like if I want to go with my friends, he limited who I should go out with. So I'm thinking, because he loves me, but that's not it. That's a form of control.
Right. Absolutely.
So it starts off like that, controlling, and then it progresses.
You know what I noticed? I noticed a lot of movies that I've seen that usually when the guy is really abusive, really bad, he's always charming. Like everybody loves him, and not only that, the one he's in love with, he always seemed to treat them really special.
Absolutely.
But I guess it becomes controlling.
It does become controlling after a while, but I'll let you expound upon that.
Exactly. They become controlling. They tell you what to wear, who you can go out with. They limit, even don't want you to go to your own family. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Spend time with your family. So it's like, and because you love them, you're like, you know what? I want to keep him. I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? So you try to make him feel good, to try to satisfy him. You know what I'm saying?
But
absolutely. I'm telling you, man, it's never going to change. Just leave. And as soon as you see that,
what do you say are the warning signs to recognizing an abuser?
Yeah, what would be the warning signs?
I would say, like my play. Let me give you an example of my play. My play, he took her out to dinner, right?
Yes.
And then he ordered her food for her. You don't know what she eats.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So why you order something, you don't ask her what she eats. But then you told her that you order already food for her.
Yes.
Without asking her what she eats. A lot of people would overlook that.
Right.
But that's a form of, to me, control. Because you don't know what she eats, you're going to order what she eats. You're going to order something and you don't know if she eats that. You don't know if she's a vegetarian, you don't know anything about her.
You don't know if I'm allergic to